And we go over there and we're playing. It was nice. It was a balmy night, and just to warm up, which you had to do, you had to go out and warm up for 15 minutes. Then you're allowed to come back in, and you all went out together again. Well, we had warmed up first. Joe had been watching the opposition warm up, and he came in the middle of the dressing room just before. He says, "Hey, these lads don't have to look red hot." What? He says, "They're knocking 50, 60-yard passes straight to feet." He says, "And they're sharp, very, very sharp. We've got a problem here." And we were sat there 3-0 up. That was Joe. We went out, and sure enough, as the story goes, we got well hammered in the first half, and it could have been 4 or 5-0 at half time. Anyway, when we come in, eventually we get in at half time, and Joe's not to be seen because he's had to make his way from the box, or at least the stand. Eventually comes in, by which time we are sat in the dressing room, and I'll never forget the sweat was just dripping on the floor. Our heads were bowed. It was then, we were still leading, what, 3-2, wasn't it? And Joe came in, eventually, smoking his cigarette, charges through the door, and we were all sat heads down, and I said to Frank Clark, if ever we needed a bit of help from the gaffer, now is the hour. Joe came in, his first words, "What's the matter?" Well, what's that effect? And there was silence, and I said, "Well, Gaffer, I don't know if you noticed, but for the first half we've been destroyed. It could have been 6 apart from Willie McFall from the blinder, and the crossbar and the post, it could have been 6. He says, "No problem." He says, "All you got to do is score a goal." Again, silence, and again I spoke up and I said, "You have been watching the game, haven't you? We haven't been over the halfway line." And he said, "Never mind all that." He says, "All you got to do is go out and score a goal." Well, as history would have it, we go out and we score. And he says, because these foreigners, they'll collapse like a pack of cards. He said, they're all the same. Foreigners got no gumption. Sure enough, we go out and score, and of course, what happens? They do collapse like a pack of cards. We eventually get in after winning the cup, quite easily, as it turned out. And we get in, and Joe's missing again. The time we've got the cup in the dressing room, Joe makes his way back down, walks in with a big cigarette again. He says, "I told you, no problem."